Okay, so let's solve this problem. Actually, I just made this up. So let's understand this. We have two rods of different masses. No, the first rod is M1 and the second rod is M2. This is the this is attached to a pin, and this end is attached to a spring of constant K1, and the other end is attached to of spring of constant K2. Okay, so you have the rod would make an angle A here, and second rod would make an angle B in this case. Now, um, okay, let's use the principle of virtual work to solve this problem. Okay, what's the first thing we do? In virtual work problems, we must select first a fixed point and uh, name all the coordinates based on that point. So our fixed point here is clearly this point here. So let's call this as our point O. This is our fixed point. Now, for the rods, the mass of the rods will act on the center of mass, which is assuming that it is a uniform density. So the center of mass will be right at the midpoint of each rod. So what are the forces here? The first force, this is we call this the weight of the first rod, and this one here is the weight of the second rod. And of course, going upwards now is the force on the spring one. Let's call this F1, and this is F2. Now we label now the coordinates. We can just call this coordinate here as x1, sorry, y1. Let's label this y1, and let's label this coordinates for the spring. Let's label this as x1, and of course this one here would be y2, and this will be x2. Okay, so now we can now express each coordinate in terms of the other if they are related. Okay, let's calculate y1 first. Clearly, y1 is equal to, that would be, this length here is L1 over 2, so L1 over 2 times sine of A. Sine of A. Okay, and as for x1, okay, let's take delta y1 because we'll be needing to do delta work. This would now be L1 over 2 cosine A delta A. And how about x1? X1 now would give us L1 sine of A, and delta x1 would be L1 cosine A delta A. How about y2? Okay, notice that, okay, where do I put y2? I'll just put y2 here. So y2 would now be this length x1 minus this length here. Okay, or we can, yes, this is x1 minus this length here is L over 2 sine B. So this means that y2 would be L1 sine A minus L over 2, which is the length of this to here, sine B. So that delta y2 would give us L1 cos A delta A minus L2 over 2 cosine B delta B. And how about x2? Similarly, x2 would be L1 sine A minus L2 sine B. And delta x2 now would be L1 sine A delta A minus L2, sorry, this is cosine A, delta A, minus L2 cosine B, delta B. Okay, so we are now ready to write the virtual work. What is the virtual work? So the virtual work will be the work done by the weight, and we have a positive work here because the displacement. Okay, let's assume a delta on this direction. Let's assume that this is our delta. Okay, I'll just put it here. Our delta A is on that direction. So if this is our delta A, notice that delta Y is going this way. Uh, okay, so this is delta Y is going downwards. So we have here a positive work. So what's the work done by weight 1? That would be weight 1 times delta Y1. And in this case, if this is our displacement delta X1, but F1 is going the opposite direction, so this is negative F1 delta X1. Okay, how about here? Okay, if let's assume a change in uh, uh, delta B. Where is now our delta B? If this is delta X1, so delta B would be going this way. Okay, so if delta B is going that way, this is our delta X1. So tendency our, okay, look at this one. If it changes here, and delta B is also changing this way. Okay, if this is increasing, delta B is also B is also increasing, so that delta B is going counterclockwise while delta A is doing clockwise. So if this is the case, then delta uh, this one here, delta Y2 would be going on the opposite direction. Okay, so since delta Y2 is going on the opposite direction while the weight is going downwards, so that means that our work here is negative weight 2 delta Y2. And how about this one? We would now have plus, because our this is our delta X2 and our F2 is going that way, so we would have now um, F2 delta X2, and this is equal to 0. Okay, so we now have these equations, and all we have to do is substitute this to this equation. Okay, so we'll do that now. So okay, so weight 1 is just equal to I think I have to compress my writing. Weight 1 would be M1G times delta Y1 would be times L1. So I'll put over 2 here. Okay, and you have cosine A delta A. So this would be, and then this is F1 delta. Okay, now what is F1? Let's assume that the deformation, this is actually what we are looking for. The deformation of the spring is just, let's just call it um, delta X1. Okay, so this will deform by, this spring will deform by delta X1, and this spring will deform by delta X2. Okay, so that F1 now will be K1 delta X1 times delta X1, which is L1 cosine A delta A. So we're done with this one. Now for the second part, minus weight 2 delta Y2. Okay, so I have to put, okay, so, okay, minus what is weight 2, that would be M2 G times delta y2 would that would be L1 cosine A, delta A minus L2 over 2 cosine B delta B. Okay? Okay, now we have a plus again, delta x2. We have, okay, this will have, the force now, F2 would be K2 times delta x2. Okay, take note that we're looking for delta x1 and delta x2 in this problem. Okay, so delta x2 would be L1 cosine A, delta A, minus L2 cosine B, delta B, and this is equal to 0. Now we're done with this one. All we have to do is group all the delta A's and group all the delta B's. Okay, what are the uh, all of those delta A? Now since all delta A has cosine A, so I can just factor out cosine delta A for each. So for delta A, we have this M1 G L1. So, okay, so our equation now becomes M1, uh, okay, here, M1 G L1 over 2 minus K1 delta X1 L1, and we have another delta A here, so minus M2G L1. There's another delta A here. We have a plus, so plus K2 delta X2 L1. Okay, times cosine A delta A, plus how about delta B? Okay, our delta B would give us, this is minus minus, so this is now a plus. So you have now M2G L2 over 2. Okay, this would now be our, this would be a plus. Okay, M2G over, and another delta B is here, so this is a minus, minus K2 delta X2 L2 times cosine of B delta B, and this is equal to 0. Now, since delta A's, the delta A's and the delta B, delta A and delta B are arbitrary, meaning that each of these inside the parentheses are 0. Why is that? Because of course, we form here a linearly independent set. So if you have a linearly independent, linear combination of vectors, in which the bases are delta A and delta B, if this is equal to 0, the only possibility is that the coefficients, which is this, including cosine A, is 0, and this is also 0. This is because of the nature of the linear combination of vectors. Okay, so meaning that this whole thing here is 0, and this whole thing is 0. Okay, so um, let's do that. So our first equation now would be, um, we have, let's separate. Okay, uh, okay, we have here M1G L1 over 2 minus K1 L1 delta X1 minus M2G L1 plus K2 L2 delta X2 equals 0. Okay, so we have two equations and two unknowns, so we can solve this one now. Okay, let's solve this one first. For the second equation, we have M2G L2 over 2 minus K2 L2 delta X2 equals 0. From here, we can see that our x delta x2 would just be, okay, cancel L2, and delta x2 would just be equal to m2g over 2k2. This will be our delta x2. How about our delta x1? Well, we can substitute this one here. Okay, so uh, okay, so I would now have, I'll transfer delta x1 on the other side. So we have now m1g L1 over 2 minus m2g L1 plus K2 L2. Delta x2 is, what is delta x2? Uh, Here is delta x2. So m2g over 2 K2, okay, equals K1 L1 delta x1. Okay, so we can now solve this. As you can see, divided by K1. So what, K1 over L1, what do we get? Our delta x1 now would be, this term would be uh, m1g over 2k1. So you have m1g over 2k1. And this term would give us minus m2g over 2k over k1. So minus uh, m2g over 2k1. And this term would give us plus, and we have here a ratio actually. Okay, k2 would cancel. So we would now have plus m2g over um, m2g L2 over 2k1 L1. So yeah, this is now our deformations. Okay, now as you can see, the first deformation is complicated as compared to the second one. In fact, you would get this exactly if there, even if there's no spring here, if I will just have this one, this structure here, and we know that this is correct, because if we have this structure and fix this on one end, and this is of length L, and this is of constant K, you would see that the deformation X here would just be equal to, you can solve that, mg over 2k. Okay, you can solve that again using virtual work. Okay, this is attached to a fixed point. Okay, this is whatever angle is this, theta. Okay, so it is expected that the second, for this second deformation, it will just depend on this. It's very simple. It doesn't care about this one. But as you can see, for delta x1, this, the mass of this and this spring will have an effect. So as you can see, uh, it's actually even dependent with the lengths of L2 and L1. Why is that? Okay. Um, well, it might be because of the yeah, it depends on the ratio of L2 and L1. Okay, and I hope I have not made any mistake here in the algebra. If I made some mistake in the algebra, kindly comment, kindly drop a comment. Actually, I just made this problem up. This is my original problem, and I uh, yeah, I have no basis for the solution of this one except my own solution, and I think I haven't made a mistake, but I tend to make algebraic mistakes, because especially when the equation becomes very becomes really messy. So yeah, so if you see any mistake or any wrong arguments, kindly comment your um, kindly comment your corrections and I will look at them. Okay, thank you for watching.